I want to come on, Chris, to one of my favorite Twitter accounts. He posted a thread which, just adds more fuel to the fire as to why I believe Manchester City are filthy, cheating, dirty bastards, to put it in blunt terms. So I'm going to read through this thread, and I will urge everybody, if you have the time, have a little look at it. Nick Harris, I think you've probably seen this thread, Chris, at Sporting Intel. If you want to have a look at his work, he's got a good body of work on Twitter, to be fair, with regards to his investigative journalism. So let's have a little read through this, then you guys can give me your take, and of course I'll come to Chris for his as well. This time last week, Fulham were ditching sponsor Titan after executives were proved fake and included actors and a punk singer. Guarantees of 480% annual profits were nonsense. This thread turns attention to the opaque Manchester City partner, 8xBet. He goes on to say, before we get to 8xBet Manchester City, last week's story led to an Australian Senator, James McGrath, raising my investigation in the Aussie Parliament, saying that he was embarrassed that Aussie-based Titan were dodgy as hell and called for answers. Turning to 8xBet, I started looking at it after, and he tagged some journalists here, Journo Andy at JCKKRR and at Philip Auclair. Again, you can look at this for yourself for the names, and Minery Steve. Wrote for Josimar in September, and after he got out of hospital with heart surgery, so get well, Nick, on that one. They flagged serious concerns about 8xBet. Firstly, they looked at corporate video that 8xBet released with Teddy Sheringham, which is odd, by the way, a Manchester United club legend there holding up a Manchester City branded shirt. The firm's elusive CEO Ryan Lee said that the video showed an official signing ceremony with Sheringham. There's somebody apparently depicting an 8xBet executive here. There's an image that they have alongside it, welcoming Teddy Sheringham and then shaking hands as he signs his ambassador contract. But who is this person and what is her role at 8xBet? Turns out that the 8xBet executive, as many viewers would assume it to be, but not least, as Ryan Lee said, was footage of an official ceremony, was in fact a London-based actor and model called Jasmine. She has zero connection to 8xBet. Then Nick goes on to say, worth noting this week that Manchester City FC announced the highest commercial revenues in English football history and confirmed in their accounts that they remain under investigation by the Premier League over alleged financial irregularities. He then tags to an image that I won't go into, but we'll go on with the thread. It's peculiar that City decided this year it was the time to declare the Premier League's ongoing investigation in their accounts. It's well into its fourth year. Do they feel concerned it might hurt them? Who knows? Back to 8xBet, and Man City gave me an email. This is Nick speaking, of course, in his thread, addressed of a Man City man called Jetzu, ZHU, apparently the CEO of 8xBet's marketing company, QOO, based in Dubai, and a de facto spokesman of 8xBet. He didn't want to speak on the record. Instead, Nick has been given background guidance from somebody close to 8xBet that now deleted LinkedIn profiles of supposed 8xBet execs, including a woman who also apparently working as a cam model on a sex site, were false and not posted by 8xBet. The same background briefer said that the Sheringham video was actually a fictional narrative. I don't know what that is. That viewers were not meant to take literally, and people involved were actors. The person in general remains an 8xBet ambassador, however, Teddy Sheringham. I'm not going to pretend at this point that I know who the hell 8xBet actually are, or who owns them, or what they do, aside from run some gambling sites, including aimed at gamblers in some places where gambling is illegal. I have asked for a company address for 8xBet's HQ, and for a phone number, and for any biographical details of 3 senior executives who apparently work for the company, and I still haven't received any of that info. Mr. Zhu's firm, QOO, also has peculiarities. They claim up to 50 employees, but their website only carries examples of work for one client, 8xBet. A source said the marketing company couldn't name any other clients due to confidentiality. I don't want to be flippant here, but I think that QOO's CEO, Jetzu, must be the shyest man in the history of marketing. Of QOO's employees, 23 apparently have LinkedIn profiles saying they work at QOO in Dubai, but these include a man based in Lahore, Pakistan, who has a Facebook page promoting his work as a motivational speaker. I contacted him, and he said that he was the CEO of his own company, then claimed he was the CEO of QOO, which is not true. Asked to meet him at the QOO's Dubai office, he could not provide it and said he worked digitally. Another supposed full-time employee based at QOO appears actually to work for a healthcare company in another country, while a third stopped answering questions when asked about 8xBet. A source says QOO have reported fake LinkedIn accounts. The pitching hoardings at the Etihad today flashed up ads for 8xBet throughout the game as City lost to Brentford. As I find out more about the firm and their marketing company, I'll let you know. And then there's a few other posts about some strange images and basically just showing that these peoples that are apparently executives are just models or cam girls and whatnot. Chris, everybody knows my take on Manchester City, and I know that that was a long thread, but I urge you all to go read it yourself at Sporting Intel. Nick Harris is the journalist. It stinks, man. It stinks. And what the fuck are the Premier League at? If they are letting this shit go 4 years now, Chris, 4 years that this investigation has been open.
I think it just stinks, doesn't it? It absolutely stinks of corruption. Look, a lot of people come after yourself of other content creators.
Miguel
and
Delaney gets a lot of abuse as well.
Yeah,
to be fair, for calling this shit out.
For literally saying, "Oh, you're just salty. You'd be happy if it were your club." Absolutely not. The fake companies. I'm sorry, we'll call it what they are. Allegedly fake, and they look fake. I saw the LinkedIn profiles that they were on about. It's got like 3 followers and 1 video of Teddy Sheringham. Again, totally random. I don't know if this guy has contacted Teddy Sheringham at all about this. Which might be an idea, but I don't know what he would actually know about it. But yeah, it's ridiculous how the Premier League haven't sorted this out. But I wonder too if this company, in inverted commas, might be lining their pockets as well.
Yeah, look, as you said, I've taken a lot of stick over the years, and I'm just being told over and over again, I'm just salty. I'm not. I'm going to give the same thing. I care about the damn sport, and I don't want the sport being turned into a shambles by fake money, fake accounts that we all know where it really comes from. We all know, let's be honest, we all know who funds what there. But apparently, this fit and proper persons test, I don't know what good it does, Chris, because Saudi Arabia isn't running Newcastle according to the league, and Abu Dhabi and the Prince aren't some of these sponsorship, or the Sheikh, excuse me, aren't some of these sponsors that are behind it. But then how many times have we seen that these companies that nobody else has heard of has had a major investment from a company that comes from Sheikh Mansour? It all stinks to high hell, mate. And all the legal threats to journalists, all the calling us salty, and all this shit that goes along with it is just people that have sold their fucking souls and don't care because they're getting to see some trophies. Well, do you know what I care about? I care about the football fans like me and you and other football clubs fans who have had maybe glory or maybe their team's opportunity to qualify for something ripped away from fucking cheating. That's what I care about. I don't like how many league titles might we have won? How many other competitions could have been won by other teams if Manchester City were playing by the rules? It stinks. And the Premier League, FIFA, UEFA, and all these governing bodies that are supposed to be custodians for the sport, they're all as bad as each other in my eyes. Because where's the moral accountability for this? Who's standing up for what's right? And if you do stand up for what's right, you're immediately shouted down and labelled as either salty, ill-informed, or racist.
You couldn't have said it more right, mate. But I think it's not only a football problem; it's a societal problem. Just look at who's running our country at the moment. Well, my country, and that, like, at the end of the day, it comes from the top to the bottom. It's people who are morally corrupt, have pound notes put in front of them, and that's all they really care about. rather than what their actual job is. It's the same in football. We're literally in less than a week's time now going to watch a World Cup in a place where it shouldn't be, awarded a place by corruption. That's literally the world's biggest football tournament. Like I don't know what to say. It's a societal issue where that is. I hate to sound all Marxy on you, but that is the issue of capitalist society: is that money eventually rises to the top and doesn't go down.